Very good. So we are on day 4, and what did we looked at yesterday? Let us do a small recap of what did we looked at yesterday. Right? All of you guys enjoyed the image and the video generation, right? There is a beautiful set of images and the videos getting generated, and I saw a lot of you sharing your beautiful images and videos. Very good. Okay. And we also looked at how do we use Google AI Studio stream option so that we can get some help or support on anything that we are doing in our homework, or it could be in our understanding a subject and so on and so forth, right? And we also looked at what are all the starter apps which are there. We looked at what is a starter app, and we looked at especially a specific app which is called a flashcard app. This flashcard app help you learn about something on how to revise your subject that you have learned. It will create a flashcard, and using that flashcard you can actually understand what you have learned. That is what we did. And towards the end of the class, we introduced something called Notebook LM, which is a new tool that we introduced yesterday, right? And the Notebook LM helps you create an audio conversation of your subject, and also can help you create a mind map of your subject or the chapter that you are reading. So it is very helpful in case if you want to understand the subject better, right? I hope all of you have enjoyed the yesterday's class and understood lot of new things in the yesterday's class, right? And today we're going to take your understanding to the next level, and we're going to introduce something called vibe coding, and we're going to introduce a new tool called Firebase Studio, right? This is a new tool that we're going to introduce. Till now we introduced two tool sets. One is called Google AI Studio, and the second one we introduced called Notebook LM. Today we are going to introduce a new tool called Firebase Studio. Don't worry about it. We will teach everything in the session. Okay. And we all are using so many apps, right? I'm sure you all have used a WhatsApp app, right? You all have might have used YouTube and so many of these apps that you have used. So if I tell now, how come you can create your own app? You can define your requirement and you can create your own app. That's what we're going to look at today. How you can create your own app using this, and we're going to build your first app using vibe coding. How we are going to do that, and towards the end we'll do a Q&A session. So this is what we're going to cover as part of today's session. Okay, is that all clear? Okay, so uh, we will jump into the introduction part. What is coding? Before we start look at vibe coding, let us look at what is coding. Okay, so the apps that you are seeing, for example, it could be even the Zoom app that you are using, or the WhatsApp app, the YouTube app. All these applications are created using something called a program. You need to write a program to create these apps, right? But now that the technology is advancing so fast, you don't really need to learn these programs to create the app. If you can actually know how to explain to the generative AI how to create what you want, and the AI will create the app for you and give it to you. Okay, that is what we're going to look at it. Okay, so you can Just by describing what you want, create your own app that you are thinking or you are imagining to create, right? And that is what we're going to do today. And before we start, let me introduce what is this vibe coding. And we'll introduce something called Firebase Studio on today's session. Okay. So what is vibe coding? As I told you that you need something called software development to actually do stuff or create the apps like what you are seeing, right? Your software development, and that software development will help you create the code, the program for building some of the applications like the Zoom app, like the actual WhatsApp app or a YouTube app, right? Now, instead of you programming these application, what you can do is you can talk or tell your requirement to AI, and AI can actually create these applications for you, right? AI can create these applications for you. That's what we're going to look at it today. Okay. And there is a guy called a famous computer scientist called Andre Karpathy who has coined the term vibe coding. Okay. And we are going to use that for creating our own app today, right? And today we're going to introduce a new tool called Firebase Studio. Okay. And this Firebase Studio is what the tool that we are going to use for building our first app. Building our first app, right? So, and let us quickly look at some of the features of the Firebase Studio. How do you access it? And how do you create your first application? Right? Let me switch to the actual part. Let me just help you understand it. And you don't need to do anything. What today we are going to do is you are just going to listen to me what I'm doing and see and note down stuff. And tomorrow we will do a specific app as a refresher, and you're all going to do a practical. So don't do anything, just listen what we are going to do so that you understand what we are doing. Okay. So how do I get into this Firebase Studio first? You all know Google, and in the Google, I'm going to type Firebase Studio. If I type, I will get this Firebase Studio as a link. If I click on it, I come to this screen. Now I can click on this try Firebase Studio, and which is going to directly take me to the page where I can interact with the Firebase Studio. Okay. Now we have our our screen, which is a familiar screen. This is a chat window, right? We are all familiar with this, and we use this to provide some examples, provide some questions, and we got answers. Even at the time of image and the video creation, we have used this for providing what image we wanted, and it automatically created, right? And in the same way, what we are going to do is we're going to provide a prompt. We all know what is a prompt, an explanation of what is that we want, and our our whole Firebase Studio is going to create the whole app for you and give it to you, right? And this is what it is going to do. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is, and there are certain prompts that you can actually create, or you can choose some sample prompts. See, for example, here I click on this sample prompts. I have something called recipe generator. What is this recipe generator? We all know that mommy cook at kitchen some of the good food, right? And let's say that you have brought lot of vegetables, lot of items that you bought. But if mommy is asking, I don't know what to cook with these vegetables that I have. So this recipe generator, if you give the items that you have, it can actually generate a beautiful recipe that can be cooked. That is what is called recipe generator. Okay. So now let's say I am clicking this recipe generator. Okay. So when I click, this is the simple two-line text that we are giving, right? The two-line text, which is saying a simple recipe maker that regenerates recipe based on the ingredients I have in my fridge. Simple UI, green color scheme, and I'm going to call it like my mom, and I'm going to tell that name the application as my mom recipe CI recipes generator. Okay, my mom's, I'm going to call it as my mom's recipe generator. You can even put your name. If Rakshit is there, you can put Rakshit recipe generator. Okay, like that you can put your own name there. But I'm just giving my mom's recipe generator. Okay, so I have just simply typed this text, a simple recipe maker that generates recipes based on the ingredients I have in my fridge. Simple UI, and you want to change the color, you can change the color also, but it is default giving it as a green color. I'm leaving it at it as it is, and then I will show you how to change it. Okay, name the application as my mom's recipe generator, and this button here called prototype with AI. So when I click on this, what it is going to do is it is going to understand what you have written, and now it is going and it is going to create a plan automatically using AI, and this is the plan that it has created. So it has created with the actual name as fridge chef. I'm going to edit this, and you can say instead of fridge chef, and I can say or say my mom's recipes generator. My mom's recipe generator, right? And I'm going to save it. And my mom's recipe generator is created. Now I'm going to click on prototype this app. Okay. And what it is currently doing is, it is, you can see I'm not doing anything. My hands are free, and it is currently working on creating this particular recipe generator app for you, right? Recipe generator app for you, right? So it will take some time for creating it. What it is doing is, now the AI is thinking that these are some of the requirements that you have given. For these requirements, that I will create a app for you and display that app for you so that you can interact with it. Okay, so now it is thinking about it, and it is taking some time for creating that particular app. We'll give some time for it to actually generate this particular app so that you can use and share this with mom, saying what is that you wanted to create. You don't need to worry about what it is doing, and even I'm not worried about what it is doing, and let it do what it does. Okay, the AI is actually generating things on its own and creating the items that is required for our application. Now it is taking some time to actually create it. We will give it some time so that it can actually create the app. It is almost done, and it is finalizing the things that is required. So currently it is checking for any errors there, any mistakes there. It is like, you and me writing some paragraphs or whatever the teacher is teaching, right? It is checking whether is there any error there in the actual thing that is being written. We'll give it some more time so that it can actually create and show us what to do. Amazing. Okay. And now, as a initial outcome, it is creating the screens for us so that we can interact with the screen, right? And now, there is some issues it is saying. So what I'm going to do is, so in the right side that it is saying, enter your Gemini API key. You don't need to worry about it. You can just click on this auto generate. Okay, auto generate when you get this, and it is going to take some time to actually generate it automatically. Okay, currently it is saying there is some issue there, and let us see whether it is fixing it automatically. Hmm. So it is saying that it has detected an error and you want to fix it. I'm saying yes, fix the error. Okay. And I'm just clicking on the fix the error, and it is going to fix that error. And error is like something like you make some mistake, right? And that mistake, it has to actually complete it. Beautiful. Now we have received a screen, a beautiful screen, and which is saying, I hope all of you are able to see this, right? We can even click on this icon, open in new window. You see here on the top right, and you see here, for example, on the top right, there is a small icon here called open in new window. When you click on that, and it can actually open that whole thing into a new window. I'm going to open that. So you're able to see the screen here, right? And it is saying we have created your first app. We have created successfully your first app. What it says, what ingredients do you have? Okay, we can give a ingredient, and when you click on this, and it can actually generate the recipe for us. So let's say in my fridge, let's say I have a carrot, a beans, I have rice, um, let's say I have milk, I have curd. These are some of the items that I have. I'm just giving some information. You can give whatever that you have in your fridge. And once I give the details, I say with this recipe, with this items that is there in the fridge, can you generate a recipe? Right? Now it did generate the recipe. You can see here carrot, beans, curd rice. You are all able to see carrot, beans, curd rice it is given, and it is giving an instruction how to cook as well. It has given a instruction how to cook as well. So now with this, you have beautifully created your first app, right? Let me just go back to our original screen. Right now, here in this screen, I see here there is this green color button there. Okay. Now I'm just thinking, I don't like the green color. I want to change this to a blue color icon. How do I do that? So here in the right side on the top of this, you have in the right side, there is a click icon, right? This is a button that you have. And this is something called, what is it called? Is a selector icon. Okay. So now I can just click on it. When I click on it, so any item that I choose, it is going to tell what it is. Okay, so now this is a, I've just clicked on it first and then I came here and just clicked on it. Okay, you can tell what you wanted to change. Now here, what I wanted to change, the color of this one is a green color. I wanted to change this to blue color. Okay, I'm going to tell change the background color to blue. Okay, I'm going to say run. And once I type it and say click run, that's it. And in the right side that you can see that here in the right side that you can see that it is started working. It is going to change in a moment this particular item into a blue color background, right? You don't need to do anything, but you can actually use this tool to modify or add or update anything that you are looking at. Okay, that is what we're going to do. So I've given this instruction. Let us see whether it is actually able to do or not. And I've given the instruction to modify that into a blue color, this particular button into a blue color. And I'm saying, waiting, the AI is thinking now, and it is telling, okay, I can change the color. And it is going back into the background and changing the color into the blue color. Changing the color into the blue color and getting this whole page ready for you again. Okay. So now it is creating it and getting it ready for your new page. So you don't need to worry about what it is doing in the backside, in the back end. And it is basically creating things and it will automatically update. See now the whole page is updated. Now you can see that this particular screen is now with blue color. You can interact with it to change or modify whatever that you wanted to do there. Is it clear? So now we have created, first we have given a small prompt to create our app. The AI created an app for it. And then you viewed it using this icon here, open in new window. You saw this in a full screen, right? And the third, you did not like the color of one particular button. It was green, so you changed it to blue color, right? Great. So now you have successfully created your mom's recipe generator app first. Okay. So now let me go back to our presentation. Okay. We looked at Firebase Studio and how that Firebase Studio basically allows you to access. This is how you will see in the first screen. And in the Firebase Studio, you can actually type the details and you have created your first app, right? Successfully. Now, So now in the first example, what you have done is basically you have typed a basic text and it has created on its own. It has created a text box on the top. You typed in the details and it has actually generated the receipts at the bottom. What if you are imagining something and you wanted the app to look exactly like what you are thinking? Okay. So how do we do that? That is what we're going to look now. So we're going to build another app now. And in this another app, what we're going to do is we all love to answer quizzes, right? We all know and we all love to answer quiz, right? Specific to our subject, when you are reading your subject and when you want to test your knowledge, you can actually have a quiz created. Even we have seen how you can use previously on the first day, how you can use the AI Studio, Google AI Studio to create quizzes, which is basically a text that it came out, right? Now to generate quiz and manage your score, how many that you have cleared, how much you have not successfully done, those kind of a thing. If you want to do, you can create an app for it, right? You can create an app for it. Now we're going to look at how we are going to create our own quiz app. To do that, because it is our own app, right? So we need to tell very clearly what is that we are trying to create to the AI so that it can create and give it to you, right? So the first step in the whole process is something called your requirements. So your details, your description or your prompt that you wanted to ask so that it creates your app specific to the prompt that you are looking at, right? So that is what we're going to do now. We're going to build our own imagination, our own idea, and your own item, an app specifically focused on a quiz generation, right? That's what we're going to do. And in today's session, we're going to teach you, don't do anything and just listen to this. We will teach you how you can actually create such application very effectively, right? In tomorrow's session, we will do a practical as well, right? To help you create your own app. Okay. So now I'm going to create an educational quiz app. And this educational quiz app is going to be having some set of requirements. So I'm just imagining that what are all the things I need in my application. So let me just create. So in my educational quiz app, I want the following items or features. So first one. So I am going to allow people to input a large information, my text from my textbook. I have my science book, I have my math book, I have my social book, I have lot many books, and I should copy the content from my book and paste it in my quiz app so that my quiz can be generated only from the item that I am pasting. Okay? Because let's say you are studying your second chapter on science and you want to test yourself how much you have understood that second chapter. What you can do is you can copy the second chapter from the science and you want it to put into this particular quiz app, and this quiz app is going to generate set of questions, and these questions you can actually answer directly in the app to check whether you have learnt it properly or not. You have learnt it properly or not. That is what we want to achieve. So for that, first I should have an option to enter a large text information in a text box. And then I want the AI to create a number of good number of um, good number of multiple choice quiz questions. I don't want any other type, but I want only the multiple choice quiz questions I want from AI to create. And it can create 10 questions, 20 questions. Okay. But I want the AI to display only one question at a time for the user to answer. I'm the user, and for me it has to display one question at a time. And then, and it can actually provide an option for the users to check the answer by clicking on check answer button. I'm going to create a small button says, if I click that button, I want to check whether the answer that I provided is correct or wrong, right? And the next is when the check answer button is clicked, system should compare the original answer and the answer provided by me and display whether my answer is right or wrong, right? Somebody has to check, right? I want the AI to check and say whether when I type the question and when I choose the answer for that particular quiz question, when I click on the check answer button, it has to check and say whether the answer that I provided is correct or wrong, right? See, in your exams, you are currently doing, in your exams, what you do, they will give a question paper to you in your class, right? And they will give a question paper to you and you will answer it in a paper, right? And once you answer it in a paper and give it to your miss or a teacher, and the teacher will go and correct it to see whether you have answered properly or not for the question is asked. Now, similar way, we're going to ask the AI to check it and AI to come back and say whether you have done it correctly or not. Okay. And if the answer is not correct, and the app that you are building should display the correct answer to the users. Okay. And there should be a score counter. Okay, to calculate the number of correct answers provided to the user. Okay, so it is like a quiz app. You can imagine user should have the ability to move between questions using next question and the back question, right? I should have, I'm asking you to display only one question, so I need to go to the next question, right? So I can have two buttons, one for next and one for back, to help you understand that we wanted to have everything in a single page, right? We don't want multiple pages, everything to be there in a single page. And to help you understand, I have just clicked something like this. So my daughter Mitra used to check how she has learned. Okay. So I'm going to call this app as a Mitra quiz generator app. Okay. And now in this app, in the first part, I'm going to create something called enter your text here. This is the text that I want the AI to actually use for generating the quiz. And I want a generate quiz button. And this generate quiz button allows me to generate quizzes for my app. Okay. And for some reason, the annotate button is not working. Administrator, please check why the annotate button is not working. And I need to generate quiz. And when I click on this generate quiz, it should display a question like this, right? It should generate a question like this. And when the question is displayed, I can actually select an answer. When I select an answer, I can click on this check answer. If I click on the check answer, I want your answer choice is wrong and the correct answer is A. Something like that. Some message has to come. To move to the next quiz, I can just click on next. If I want to go back, I can click on go back button. And then I'm going to count the scores that I have created using this your score option. Your score option, right? So this is the sample. You can also create like this. Okay, I'm going to just show you I'm going to show you how to create this. Okay, it is very simple. Okay, so I'm just going to create a new page, and let me just delete it. And any tool that you're using, you can create like this. Okay, I'm going to say this is my screen look like. In this screen, I want a box for entering quiz, and this background I'm going to keep it white, and I'm going to insert. This is how I created. Okay, there is a text box I can create. Say enter your text here. Okay, and you can call with any name, but I'm going to call it with the app name. I'm going to call it as Mitra Quiz App. Okay, so you can call
Excuse
it
me,
with
sir.
any name.
Excuse me.
Okay,
The
yes.
screen is still in the My Mom's Recipe generator. So
That's why.
whatever the action you are doing, we couldn't see the exact screen.
Okay. Let me stop the screen, and then I will show you guys. Okay, let me stop the share and then again share it. You're able to see now?
Yeah, I can see the sharing presentation. Yeah, presentation.
Did you guys saw this or not? Like, did you guys saw this list of requirements I showed you?
No, just now we are seeing this screen.
Okay. That's why there is some problem there. Okay, now I'm able to see. Okay, this is like a requirement that I have. I was just walking you through this particular screen. And then I showed you how the screen is going to look like. Now you are able to see this.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so this is what we're going to build now. Now we're going to ask the AI to build something like this. I'm going to say, I'm going to say, enter your text here. Here, I'm going to input my text. And when I click on this generate quiz button, I want the quiz to be displayed here. Okay. And when the quiz is displayed, I can click on this check answer button. When I click on it, it should display the actual answers properly for me. Okay, 1 second. Right, proper answers properly. And now, after I answered this details, and I can actually click on next or back button to move between quiz, and there should be a score to actually take care of my scores, right? So this is what we're going to do now, right? You can create this on your own. This is what we were trying to do, and because of the time, I'm going to, this is how you can create it. I hope you're all able to see the screen that I'm showing,
Yes.
right? Right, so now you should be able to create it something like this. You can use any tools to create it. Okay, or I can say, I can just copy here. You can say my question 1 A B C D, something like this. Okay, you can create a screen like this. That is what I did here. Okay, so now I have a clear detailed list of requirements that is available that I have created here. And now this requirement, I'm going to give it to AI to help me create the app for me. Okay. So now first what I'm going to do is, and I'm just going to, this is what I've written now, right? And this I'm going to copy. I'm going to go to our Google AI Studio, right? I'm going to go to our friend, first friend, Google AI Studio. We are all familiar with this, right? We all are familiar with this. And I'm going to say, I want to create a quiz app named Mitra quiz generator. You can put your name. Okay. Now create a detailed requirement using the below below functionality of the app I want to create. Okay. And I'm just going to paste whatever that I have created. Okay. So the first step, I've pasted this, whatever that I've created, right? The steps. Now, the second thing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and create a screenshot of this particular image that I have created. It's a simple image, right? You all know how to take a screenshot. So similar way, I have taken a screenshot of this image. I'm copying this screenshot. I'm going to the Google AI Studio and pasting it here and tell refer the sample app screen attached. Okay. And I'm just telling this is my requirement I want to create and refer the sample screen in the attachment that I have given. I'm going to say run. When I click on run, it is going to give me a lot of details about this app that we are trying to create. And we'll wait for a couple of minutes. It is going to give us a big list of items, that it is going to generate. So now what we're going to do is once it generates all the details, see now it has started writing, right? It has started writing whole bunch of things. Okay. And it has started writing lot of details. You don't need to worry about it. Okay. You don't need to worry about any of this. I am just, it is letting it to complete writing. Perfect. Now it has completed the writing. There's a big text that it has written, right? Now I'm going to copy the whole thing. Okay. I'm going to copy the whole text, the complete text that I've copied. I'm going to my my Firebase Studio, right? Now my Firebase Studio. Now I'm going to my Firebase Studio. Now here is where we need to create input for my prototyping, right? I'm just pasting the whole thing. Whatever that I copied from there, I have just pasted. I don't even know what it has written. I am not even reading it. Okay. So now with this, I'm just going to say prototype with AI. Prototype with AI. That's it. Okay. And it is going to take a couple of minutes and it is going to take a couple of minutes to give a plan for us to create this app. Exactly. So now it has given a plan for us to create the app. Now, once this plan is created, and it is going to enable this button, prototype this app. Now you are all seeing this prototype this app button is ready for us, right? I'm just going to click this prototype this app. And when I click on this prototype this app, now the AI is going to work for us to create the app for us, right? AI is going to create for us the app that we wanted. So we need to give some time for it to actually create it as we did for the first time. So now it is taking some time to actually create the quiz generator that we wanted to create. So it is thinking now based on the input that we have given. It is currently thinking and it is creating something for our quiz generator app. So meanwhile, so which subject let us take the details from? Let it create this, assuming that I have our famous science subject, right? I have grade 6. We have our science subject, and the science subject we have our wonderful world of science, right? There is a beautiful, wonderful world of science chapter is there. So by the time it creates it, I'm going to just copy a couple of chapters. Okay, I'm going to copy a couple of chapters here, and I'm just taking sample like 5 pages of content that I've taken. Okay, 5 pages of content. It is directly from your NCRT textbook, right? So now I'm going back to my Firebase Studio to check what is it doing. So now it is kind of checking everything is okay or not. If it is okay, it is going to give us an option for final app that we can actually test and execute it. It is taking some time. I'm sure it is going to give the details that is required. Very good. So as I told you, in the right side, you have this auto generate option is there. You click on auto generate, and when it is generated, this will get refreshed with a Gemini API key. You don't worry about what it is, and you just click on that alone. Okay. And now we have our first app, our own app that is getting created now. Our own first app getting created. In the right side, you can see that let it complete. In the right side, let it complete. Once this is done, then we can actually start interacting. Okay, amazing. Okay, so now the app is ready for us. App is ready for us to interact. Now, what I can do is create your quiz that it is saying. Now I can actually paste the text that I have, 5 page text that I have created. I have pasted here, and I can click on generate quiz. Now, when I click on generate quiz, it is saying generating is your quiz. Amazing. So now, if you look at here, it has already created your quiz, right? This is exactly what we wanted. So now we have given a science chapter, and it is saying according to the text, what is science? It is a question that it is asking. And you can tell based on the answer which is the right answer, right? So let me say this is the right answer I am thinking, and I can click on check answer. Correct. So we have created a correct answer, and my score is increased to 1 now. My score is increased to 1. So what this then says 1 out of 8, that means it is having 8 questions, out of which I'm going to answer 1 question. I have answered 1 question. So I need to go to the next question now. I can click on next. It is showing me the next question now from this text. What is considered most important thing for understanding the world according to text? So I'm going to give apathy. I know that it is a wrong answer. I'm going to click on check, and it is saying that it is the answer choice is wrong. The correct answer is curiosity. Okay. Now my score is still 1. It is working properly. Now if I change, let's say, okay, next question. Okay, according to the text, what planet we will start exploring? And it is the earth. Let me check. That is correct. Now my score is increased to 2, right? Likewise, we can actually create our own quiz app, right? And this whole the actual quiz app creator, the PDF file that I will share it across, and that will have the requirement in your home. You can actually try your exercise. If you are stuck anywhere, you are not able to progress, don't worry about it, and we're going to come back and address this on tomorrow in a very detailed way, right? So in let me just go back to the presentation. right? We have created something like Mitra Quiz app, and we were able to enter the text, we were able to get the answers, and we were able to do all that we were trying to do, right? And now we have come towards the end of our program, and as always, we're going to do a promise, right? We're going to do a promise. All of you, take your hand, put it on your heart, and close your eyes and repeat what I say. Okay? I promise to learn every day and build my skills, not just my marks. I repeat, I promise to learn every day and build my skills, not just my marks. And you can remove your hands, and you can open your eyes. Now we are towards the end of the program, and I see that not all of you have completed your exercises. I'm going to give one more day today. Some of you have asked some more time, right? So 3 days exercise, all of you has to complete so that you can clearly understand what we are trying to do tomorrow, right? We're going to put everything together on tomorrow's class, right? So that is what on day 4. And now today what we looked at, we looked at um, we looked at first starting with how to create an app of our own app. We looked at vibe coding, and we introduced something called Firebase Studio. I will share you the link of the Firebase Studio later. You can start exploring. An interesting thing is it is also free. There is no cost. Whatever that we did, there is no cost. It's all free that you can actually explore. Okay. And we introduced Firebase Studio, and we started creating our mom's recipe generator app as the first application. And then we clearly defined the requirement for our new app called quiz generator, and this quiz generator is going to help you create the quizzes for you, right? And we have created a clear requirements that we want. We have given that requirement to the tool AI, and the AI has helped us creating the actual quiz in the last 1 hour, right? So, and it is great that we learned these things, and you continue to learn on an everyday basis. Okay, that comes to the end of the program. So any students has any questions, you can ask questions. When you're asking questions, you have to tell your name and then your question. Who has any question? Is it clear? Even if it is not clear, don't worry. Tomorrow we're going to do a practical exercise so that you can very easily understand this. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Hmm. Any questions, kids?
Okay.
No, sir.
Very good. Very
Sir.
good.
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir. No, sir.
Very good.
No, sir.
Very good. Okay. Sure. Okay. If no questions, you all can enjoy your day and continue to study, learn new things. Okay.
Thank
Thank
you,
you
sir.
very much. Thank you very much, children.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Bye. Thank you, sir. Bye.